Hi friends! I wanted to share with you my January haul today. I'm not going to be including my book outlet haul since that had its own video. I'll link that below if you missed it. So this is just the other stuff that I got throughout the month. First, we'll get out of the way. I finished my collection of the character minis of the Throne of Glass books. I already had Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, and Kingdom of Ash. I had gotten those as gifts, and these went on sale for half off for part of the month. I'm not sure if they're still on sale. But they were marked down to $7 each, so I went ahead and grabbed the rest of them. And if you haven't seen these yet, they're so small and cute. They look like a little bitty like Gideon's Bible. Like, the pages are so thin and they're just adorable. I really like them. Kind of impractical, but... Next I got, this is another book that I had already read and it went on sale, so I got a physical copy of it. And that's Small Horrors by Darcy Coates. This is a collection of horror short stories. This is one of her early works, I think. And they're like super short. Like each story is like 2 or 3 pages. So it's flash fiction. And these are really fun. Next, I ordered Dear Laura by Gemma Amor. I've been like obsessed with her work lately. I loved her Cruel Works of Nature collection. And then a couple weeks ago I read her new collection, Till the Score is Paid, and it was so good that I was like, I need more. So I ordered this. This is about a girl who every year on her birthday, she gets a letter from this stranger who tells her that he knows where her missing best friend is. And he'll only help her if she'll give him something of hers, like something personal. And that synopsis paired with like the tooth on the cover like really freaks me out, so I'm really excited to read it. Next, I ordered the 40th anniversary edition of Bunnicula. I don't know how long ago this came out. I had missed that this came out, but I think it was pretty recent. But this was one of my absolute favorite books as a kid. And I love rereading this still as an adult, and so when I saw that they came out with an anniversary edition, I had to get it, and it's velvety and it's so cute and it's got orange edges. Next, I finally got a copy of Paperbacks from Hell by Grady Hendrix. I've been meaning to get this forever. It's been on my wish list for years, literally, and I finally got it. It's he just like introduces all of these different pulp horror books from like the 70s and 80s. I just love Grady Hendrix a lot, so I felt like I needed this on my shelf. And they're doing this cool thing. They have the subscription box you can subscribe to where like I think every couple of months they send you reprints of books from this, like that he talks about in here. And next I ordered Grind Your Bones to Dust by Nicholas Day. I've just heard so many rave reviews from so many friends that I felt like I needed to read it. And then of course I pre-ordered a finished copy of Come Tumbling Down, one of my favorite series of all time. And you know, I've gushed about this series enough on this channel that I probably don't need to gush about it more. But this is the 5th book in the Wayward Children series. This just came out a few weeks ago. Very excited to have this. I've already read it. I gave it 6 out of 5 stars. It might be my favorite book of all time, so definitely recommend it. And then I got Lullabies for Suffering. This is a collection of short stories about addiction horror. I had pre-ordered this like a while ago, and then after I pre-ordered it and my copy came in, I actually was also offered an audio review copy, so I have the audiobook too. So I'm going to be listening to that in February, and I'm very excited. When you pre-ordered this, if you submitted proof of pre-order, you got entered into a giveaway, and I was actually lucky enough to be one of the giveaway winners, and I got a signed copy of Apocalyptic Montessa and Nuclear Lulu by Mercedes M. Yardley. She's one of the authors who's included in Lullabies for Suffering. So that was very cool, and I was told that these characters actually make a cameo in her story in Lullabies for Suffering, so I'm probably going to try to read this before I pick up this. And then the last purchase that I made was Cleaning Sucks. I recently read Unfuck Your Habitat and absolutely loved it. It was a little bit life-changing, and my spouse and I are currently in the process of trying to declutter our home. Not books, but you know, everything else. So I thought this would be helpful to kind of, it gives you like some challenges and some guidelines and stuff. And then just a couple of goodies that I got in the mail this month. I got Transfer by Terry M. West. I read this as an e-arc, I want to say in December, and really liked it. I thought it was really fun. And then he sent me a signed copy, like I guess just as a thank you, which is wonderful. So I'm very happy to have a physical copy of this too, so thank you, Terry. And then Tor.com sent me Riot Baby by Tochi Onyebuchi. I am super excited for this. This is at the top of my February TBR. This is a story about siblings, and the sister is able to see things before they happen. Like, she'll look at somebody and she'll see something that's going to happen later in their life. And her brother is trying to protect her because he knows that this power could be the end of her, you know, if it's used wrong, or I guess if people find out. But he gets put in jail, and now she's alone. So she also has to deal with like her rage at this system in this world that doesn't care about her or her brother. And she has this power that could basically like decimate the world if she wanted to, and she has to figure out how to work through that. So this sounds so powerful. If this hadn't already been on my TBR, B reviewed this, and oh my gosh, like, B made me want to read this the second that I finished reading their review. I'll link that below. But so I'm just really excited to read this. So thank you so much to Tor.com for sending this. And then I'm also part of the Amazon Vine reviewing program, and I got two books from them this month. The first one was Gloomtown by Ronald L. Smith. This is a middle grade like fantasy horror paranormal kind of thing. It's about a 12-year-old boy who gets a new job. He really needs the job, but he suspects that his boss is not human and that he might be up to something very like conniving. I read The Owls Have Come to Take Us Away by Ronald L. Smith last year, and I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't my favorite. It was fun though, and there was just a very specific element to it that didn't work for me. And this book does not feature that specific element, which was a story within a story. The main character was writing a story as his events went on, and I don't care a lot for that in most books. But this doesn't have that, so I have high hopes that I'm going to like this a lot more than I did that. And then the last thing I got was another arc from Vine, and that is The Winter Duke by Claire Eliza Bartlett. This is a YA fantasy about a girl who is so far down in line for the throne that she has been able to kind of live a normal life. She's a princess, but she's never really been trained up to be like, you know, queen or anything because she's so far down the line. But a sickness befalls her household, and it makes everyone fall into this deep sleep. And so she suddenly has to take over the throne, but she's not prepared for it. And on top of that, she's got to figure out what's going on with this sickness. And then on top of everything else, she's fallen in love with her brother's bride. This sounds so cool. Like, I love that last twist. I love everything about the premise of this, so I'm very excited to read it. Okay, so that was it. That's my January haul. Thank you so much for checking it out. If you liked it, please click like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you hauled this month and what are you excited about. Is there anything that I hauled that you've already read that you liked or that you're excited to read? Just, you know, come talk to me in the comments, and I hope to see you again in another video soon. Bye!